Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show and it is North Central Netball time. Our correspondent, Kylie Walsh, the president of the association, joins me on the line. It's one of the more busier times, let's put it that way. Kylie, lots going on, particularly for yourself getting ready for a grand final this weekend, or a set of grand finals, a series of grand finals being played in Donald. And it's good to have you on the line to find out exactly how we got to this point. How are you?
Good, thanks, Alice. Yes, I guess that's how we're so unique in North Central, having three codes playing at the one venue Saturday with great supporters around us. So like we did last weekend, it was wonderful at Charlton with a wonderful atmosphere from players and teams and supporters. So, yeah, congratulations to those who progressed for Saturday, and thanks to Charlton Netball Club for hosting. It was a really great day.
From Charlton to Donald, but let's go back to what happened in Charlton last weekend, starting with the 14 and under Bs. And in the end, St. Arnaud, too good. They progressed ahead of Donald. This prelim final was one that many people were looking forward to, but in the end, a comfortable enough day out for St. Arnaud.
Yeah, and look, it started off really tentatively from both teams, and they sort of needed time to settle their nerves and find their rhythm, which is understandable at such a young age. But early on the game, it was really marked by frequent turnovers and the battle of ball control. But the mid-quarters were really especially active and working tirelessly back and forth with the ball. But as the game progressed, St. Arnaud managed to steady themselves, and they tuned out from the crowd noise and focused on their own game play, and they settled in and they began to really dominate, outplaying Donald, and then widen the margin between themselves. And St. Arnaud outscored Donald with that victory 23-10, and they're placed to the grand final.
There we have it. All right, what happened in the 14s and under A competition on the weekend?
Well, both teams maintained a calm and collected demeanour. They focused on the game rather than being distracted by the significance of the final. And both teams had a really strong entry into the prelim final, so it was going to be a great game. They were composed, and that was really evident in the early in the match plays. Bulls mid-court players, they found the balance down the court and had great vision to their goalers, Lana Angel and Asher Lee. And Asher's calm demeanour and ability to focus on her goaling role, regardless of the pressure from Tigers' Brady Ellis, was a credit to Asher and a standout performance. And there was another player, Bulls player, defender Cassie Tynan, and she had an ability to successfully implement her defensive play against Sea Nandali Tigers goal attack Prue O'Sullivan, and that was pivotal. Cassie successfully disrupted Prue's rhythm and applied pressure, limiting her scoring out of opportunities. And the Bulls played consistently across all four quarters, which ultimately led to their well-earned 19-13 victory over the Tigers. But congratulations to both teams. They really displayed a high level of skill at such a young age.
Birchip Watcham prevailing from the 14 and under A competition to be in the grand final. Sea Lake Nandali Tigers' campaign comes to an end, but they've been certainly very brave throughout the season that has been. To the 17s and A grade competition, tell us what went on there last weekend, Kylie.
Well, St. Arnaud faced a significant challenge heading to this match, which is often the case, and anything can happen, as we both know, in finals, which is different to the home-away seasons. But I must say the 17 under competition has really showcased some fantastic skills, and this game was no exception with St. Arnaud versus Nullawil. And the St. Arnaud strengths of uplifting their teammates, struggling with their rhythm at moments. They were able to find this in the second quarter, and they were able to rally and pull back the score to a 3-goal deficit heading to half-time. And then they were able to fight back and stay poised for the really close contest. However, the third quarter, St. Arnaud's freedom of play came to a grinding halt. Nullawil really turned up the pressure with Gracie Humphries in goalkeeper position leading the defence. She was just a standout, and that really stretched right down through the mid-court. And with every option that St. Arnaud attempted, Nullawil just shut them down completely, and they displayed excellent intuition and speed and teamwork. And Nullawil's impressive defence accumulated a dominant final quarter where they kept St. Arnaud goalless, in fact, and sealed a well well-deserved victory of 43-28.
There we have it. All right, and we'll move along now to some senior action, starting with the C reserves. What was the final score there from the prelim on the weekend?
We had Nullawil had a very comfortable win over Birchip Watcham, 51-14. Birchip Watcham were always going to face a monumental challenge against Nullawil. As we know, their finals are unpredictable. So despite the odds, the Bulls were determined to give it all. However, Nullawil's Kate Fawcett, she wasted no time settling into and finding her rhythm into the shooting circle, and she rewarded her teammates with hard work with every goal. The pressure applied by Nullawil seemed to affect the Bulls, and they made costly mistakes early, and Nullawil just quick to pounce on these errors and capitalise with every opportunity. And despite these various strategies and trying to close the gap, Birchip Watcham just really struggled to make a significant impact on Nullawil's relentless pressure, and Nullawil's dominance continued right through to the end and ending Bulls season at this point. But despite that difficult loss, I really think it was heartening to see Birchip Watcham relax in their first and final quarter, and despite the scoreline, they just really enjoyed that last quarter together and really pushed through to the end. And I think C reserve, Alice, it's really showcased the growth and development of our players blending with seniors, and it's really been rewarding to watch these young players improve throughout the season with their progress, and it's really justified the inclusion of this grade. And it's been great to watch juniors grow and contribute to the experience of the season. It's really been a highlight, and I think it embodies the future of this competition.
Fantastic, glowing endorsement. All right, C grade, interesting game there in the prelim on the weekend. Fill us in on what went on.
Yeah, well, this was certainly a close game, Alice. Nullawil defeated Sealatnan Daily Tigers 35-33, and this was a showcase of finals level netball from start to finish. It was tight, it was fast paced, and it was exceptionally high standards. The crowd and benches and players were fully engaged right from the first whistle, and it was clear from both teams that they were playing for a spot in the grand final. They just weren't holding back. Bregan Kelly, C grade, best and fairest. She played a really pivotal role for Nullawil, and from the centre she directed her teammates with authority, and she applied a really driving force of attack and relentless defensive pressure where it was needed. And her leadership kept Nullawil focused, and her influence was really felt throughout the match. But whilst the third quarter is usually considered that championships quarter, it was the second quarter where the momentum shifted, and Sealatnan Early Tigers, particularly youngster Dana McKenzie, she made her move, and McKenzie was outstanding in defence, and she helped her team claw back to the game, securing a 2-goal lead by half time. And her performance not only raised the intensity on court, but it brought the crowd back into life and urging the Tigers forward for the remainder of the game. However, Nullawil, Lizzie McGrath, she found a real level of play, stepping out of the circle and setting her team and reigniting their momentum. So both teams really fought desperately for the lead, was swinging back and forth, and as the match neared its conclusion, it felt like we were going to have a bit extra time, but in those final moments, Nullawil managed to keep that slim 2-goal lead, sealing that victory, as I said, 35-33. But it was an incredible display of netball from both teams, filled with intensity and determination. So congratulations to both teams for that exciting contest.
Let's go to the B grade side of things, where we had Birchip Watcham and Nullawil going at it, and Birchip Watcham too good, but just by 3 goals, Kylie. This was a bit of a thriller in the end. Birchip Watcham beating Nullawil 36-33.
Yeah, and look, before the game, it was a few spectators were left wondering whether the Bulls could finally halt Nullawil's winning streak from the previous game. And I guess after last week's performance, the Bulls really regrouped and determined to put up a better fight against their formidable opponents. But Sally Angel emerged as a key player for the Bulls, using her height to dominate the matchup against Rachel Smith. But the Bulls midcourt took full advantage of this, and they fed Sally with precision and passes converted into points, rewarding her team with efforts. This early dominance of the Bulls left Nullawil really unsettled, as their usual flow was disrupted by the Bulls' short and sharp strategy down the court, and they just focused on maintaining possession at every opportunity. But there were some really great matchups between Nullawil's Steph Cooper and Bulls' Megan Noonan and Brittany Burns and Stacey Hamilton and Gabrielle Ives and Eva Coffey. They just battled it out, trying to outsmart each other, and it was really great to watch. And both duels kept it all balanced and competitive and built tension as the match wore on. And like the previous game, it really felt like we were going to have a draw in our hands as they were pushing each other closer and closer. However, Birchip Washington made some really tactical changes, rotating their fresh legs through the midcourt. And that sort of gave them an edge where it mattered the most. And the crowd became really electric and energised all players with a really fever-pitch finals moment. But despite that intensity, the Bulls kept their composure and were rewarded with that 3-goal victory over Nullawil and a long-awaited gratification of Bulls getting a senior grade into the grand final. And spectators were certainly treated to a thrilling game.
Finally, to the A grade, Charlton way too good. They beat Board 57-36. Give us the play-by-play here, Kylie.
Yeah, well, Alice, this had a really different feel to it from the start for me. The Maggies appear to be a bit flat, so I'm not sure whether that was Charlton playing at home with a home crowd or how significant it was for Charlton, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. They just didn't see themselves. However, Charlton delivered an overwhelming performance on Saturday. They controlled the game from start to finish against Port, and despite Port's best efforts, they struggled for answers against that relentless pressure and precise execution of the Navies. And right from the third whistle, they just set the tone, established an early lead, and it just grew as the game progressed. The Maggies worked really hard to disrupt Charlton's flow, but their defensive strategies just fell short and against a team that was obviously firing on all cylinders. And then Navy's centre dominance of goal shooter Kylie Walsh. I think she's in the best form of her career, and Walsh was just unstoppable in the goal shooting. Her impressive height and her positioning was outplayed her opponent despite the best efforts of Roxy Train, who tried tirelessly throughout the match. And it was just a headache for her. And her Chloe teammate Claudia Lee, her accuracy was unmatched in the circle as well. So she was just feeding off pinpoint passes through from the midcourt straight into the goals and not missing a shot either. So despite Roxy Train and Emma Darker trying everything to apply pressure and tight force, it was just unmet in the circle. And Chloe and Claudia just remained dominating through there. Charlton's midcourt, led by Captain Kirsty McKenzie, she was relentless at dominating her position, feeding precise balls to the circle. The connection between her midcourt and shooters, that allowed Navies just to have complete control, and Bulls struggled to find a clear path with the ball. Despite that one-sided nature, Maggies just never gave up. They pressed moments of strong defensive play. However, they just couldn't string it all together over a full 4 quarters. And in the end, Charlton's flawless execution, it was just unstoppable performance from their defenders, Kate Burton and Megan Bruns. They just proved too much for Bort, and they just had no answers towards the end with the final score 57-36, and it just reflects Charlton's dominance as they secured that spot into the grand final as strong contenders.
We're almost there. It's crazy to think, but enjoy the grand finals this weekend. Kylie Walsh, President of the North Central Netball Association, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Alice. Have a great weekend.